but Romans 8 and 38 and 29 says, "For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any power, nor neither height nor deep nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord." There are things coming down the pike that is going to try its best to separate you from the love of the Lord, because Satan does not want you to be that way. But that's why we pray. Father, bless this message. Bless my brothers and sisters today, Lord God, that they might know who they are, and that they might know that you have given us a power. You've given us the power, not of the power of the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Amen. Lamentations 3:22 and 23 says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercy never comes to an end. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." Remember, his mercies are new every morning. And remember what he said. He said, "I would never leave you nor forsake you." So those mercies, when you've exhausted them, there's more to come. Listen, the light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Whenever I am, wherever I am, God is. He said, "I'd never leave you or forsake you." Remember, let me say this again. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. So God has not forsaken you, my brothers and sisters. You are strong and courageous. God knows that nothing is impossible when you walk with him. 2 Corinthians 4:16 through 18 says, "So we do not lose heart. Though our outer shell is wasting away, our inner shell is being renewed by day. For this light momentary affliction is preparing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison, as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen." And we thank God today for all that he's done, that he's doing, and that he is going to do in our lives today. What a mighty God we serve, my brothers and sisters. What a mighty God we serve. Woo! Don't worry about what the enemy can do to you. When the enemy tells you, "I'm going to kill you," and you tell him, "Hey, I got life everlasting. So, hey, bring your own what you have, because my God is greater than you. Greater is he that is in me." Brothers and sisters, don't be afraid to stand up. Don't be afraid to stand up, to look up, to raise your hand and say, "I trust in God. I trust in God." Do you trust him today? Will you trust him today? If you'll trust him today, he'll make a way. Because you know what? There's a way out of your mess. And it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Roane, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask your neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into Ask Your Neighbor. Here we are on a Monday morning. It's nice to have you tuned in, dialed up with us here this morning. We got guests in the studio. Anderson County Commissioner Tim Isbell is sitting here with us, and our buddy Jim Burge. How long ago was it we were here talking about the New River train?
Probably 16 years ago.
Was it really that long? Wow.
About this exact time of year.
Yeah, because you guys did some fall things and holiday things, I remember.
Right.
Is there still a train up there? Do they still run it all?
No, somebody else bought the railroad, and we couldn't get rights to get back on, so it just kind of ended the New River.
A lot of people enjoyed that, though.
Yeah.
Right? That was a nice nice ride.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it was a beautiful ride.
I saw, I guess it was on a commercial yesterday. There's one down around Chattanooga area. I think goes down to Georgia and back. It's like an 8-hour trip. I had never heard of that one either. Yeah, I didn't. There's not a whole lot of train rides around. I guess there is if you know where to look. There are not a lot of them out there anymore.
Yeah, they're about a thing of the past.
It seems like it. Tim, what's going on with you? How do you pull that mic just aim it towards you there? There you go. I'm sorry.
Well, as always, I'm just blessed, every day, and just blessed to be here today and help promote our New River area and promote Jimmy. From his real humble beginnings.
Yeah.
And the things that he's accomplished. You'll hear later on in the conversation from New River to Hollywood.
So we were just talking about, if you can do it all from New River and just let Hollywood do their thing, you'll be better off if you don't have to go. But for folks that don't know, let's just tell them a little bit about what we're talking about. You've got a book and getting ready to have an animated series. Then they're going to take and make that into an actual movie. And all these things are things that are going to happen. That's you've already set forth in motion. First, let's start, and you've got some music we're going to talk about too. But first, let's talk about the book, what it's called, what it's about. Just tell people a little bit about it.
Well, the book I wrote the story in October of 2008. I actually wrote it for our train ride. We were trying to do a Christmas theme, and we weren't able to get the other franchised Christmas theme that was going on at the time that was really popular. So I said, well, shoot, I'll just try to sit down and write our own Christmas story. And so I sat down, very busy, running, as Tim and all of us know, and we're always busy doing something, and we don't have time to sit down and do anything. And well, I finally sat down in late October of 2008 and took a little while, and the story that came to me was about two of my friends that I grew up with in the New River community, brother and sister, that passed away early in life, but their story and their memories came to mind. So I sat down and started writing, and probably 45 minutes I had the Christmas story. It came to me so fast. It was like I wasn't thinking. My hand was moving to write, and but they were a blessing to the community, and and we miss them very much. But they made a big mark on my life and a lot of people's lives. So when I sat down to write, they were the only thing that came to my mind, and I have since written more about them, but it's nothing that anybody's seen yet. But they were a blessing, and so I wrote the story, and then
tell us a little bit about the story, about their story, and how you incorporated that into your Christmas story.
Well, we were, like I say, it was written for a train ride, so it starts out as we ride down these rails and I see the evergreen trees. I'm reminded of a story that I was told as a small child many years ago. And so the name of the Christmas book is The Evergreen Christmas Tree. Mm-hmm. So it started from there, and then there's I picked up a few days before Christmas that the children were looking forward to Christmas, and we actually set the timing back probably 15 to 20 years from when it actually when this actually had taken place. But the gist of the story is the father takes the children to look for a special Christmas tree, and in this journey, as they're going through the mountains, and they look at Christmas trees and something's wrong with it. There's a blemish one way or the other. And the father explains a lesson in life for each blemish that they find in the tree. So they move on to the next tree and on to the next tree until they find the perfect tree. And then when they find the tree, I can't let it all out, but when they find the tree, they take it home and decorate it. And the people that I'm working with in Alabama and in Los Angeles, they are big advocates for the deaf community. So they asked me if I could write in a scene about a deaf character, and there was a gentleman in our community that I grew up around. He wasn't, he was hard of hearing. He wasn't deaf, mm-hmm. but the community loved him. Everybody in the community knew him, and he was definitely a character. Raymond was his name, but so we added Raymond and a scene in there of Raymond teaching the children some sign language. And I think that's going to be big in the deaf community because they're really pushing it with a lot of influencers and a lot of different things to get out. And the book's got some sign language in the back for the deaf. So there's a big kick with it. The California group that we're working with, they've been in this industry pretty much since Hollywood started. So yeah. They've been around a long time and know a lot of people, and they're actually setting me up for a book signing in Hollywood sometime in early December. I don't have the date yet, but we're waiting on that.
So the book is the Evergreen
Christmas Tree.
And yeah. So how do we go from writing for a trip a few miles down tracks in New River to having a book coming out and a book signing in Hollywood, California?
I have no idea. I never wrote it for a book. This never crossed my mind. I couldn't have thought of this in a million years.
Did you guys read it on the train to the passengers as a story?
We never got to do it.
Okay.
The story was dormant for 15 years. I met a lady from Alabama last year, and she was actually looking at our property for a place to film movies and different things, and I was telling her about the story, and she asked me to send it to her, so I did, and she fell in love with the story, so she immediately said, I know who to contact, in Hollywood if you would like me to, and have them take a look at this. And so we had to do the NDAs, and everything's copyrighted and all of this. So she sent it to K&K Production in Hollywood over Thanksgiving holiday last year, and they came back either that Sunday night or Monday morning, I can't remember, but they emailed back and told me congratulations. They wanted my story. So you know, I was settled in my mind. My thought was, you know, at least I can say that I've written something that made it to Hollywood, and that was enough for me.
Yeah.
I figured they would read it and say thanks, but no thanks, and that was the end of it. But they love it, and they're pushing it really hard.
So were they the ones that took it from just that story to a book first? Is that,
yeah,
did they have a plan? We go book, and then...
Yeah, they, when they got it, we were on last week with a radio station, our first interview with Ed Robertson. He does interviews for directors and producers and creators, and so we had our first Zoom interview last Wednesday, I believe, with him. But
and they're putting together to get they're recruiting the people to come and do this, your director or whoever they're going to have do it.
They're setting all the interviews up and book signings and all of the ins and outs. So.
Is the book out yet?
It'll be out Black Friday. We're hoping in about 10 to 14 days pre-sales will start. We're on let's see, evergreenchristmastree.com is the website, and then we're on Facebook and all the other platforms. Let's see, Facebook, the X, TikTok, and Instagram.
Okay.
The book's going to be on 16 platforms and 4 languages.
Wow.
It's going to be German, French, Spanish, and English.
Wow.
So that's kind of where it's at.
And then will they end up being in bookstores and everything else too? If people go out and they
Barnes and Noble is going to have them. Walmart. I don't know the exact date yet that they're going to be in stores. I'm hoping Black Friday, but
hopefully for Christmas. That'd be, they'd get it out for Christmas.
I know they'll be for sale online by then, but I'm not exactly 100% sure they're going to be.
The hard copies.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit. Yeah. So you also said that they're taking this book too. The book's not out yet, but they're working on an animated movie about the book, right?
Correct, yes.
And they're hoping that comes out by next Christmas?
Yeah, Christmas of 25, I think, is what they're shooting for on that. We've not talked a lot about that yet. We've been very busy concentrating on this book.
And then possibly after that, a live action movie. That's the root.
Yeah, that's in the makes also. So it's this project. Also, it's got a lot of other things going on with it. There's going to be merchandise and some other things. So it's a very involved project that's working us to death.
Well, hopefully it'll be. Hopefully there'll be a lot of good return off all this work. Did you ever think when you were sitting down writing this, when you wrote it, did you write it just to tell the story on the train? Was that the thing? You're going to tell it as you chugged up through the mountains?
Yeah, that was the only purpose. About I think maybe 2018, my sister Tammy didn't talk me into it, suggested that we do a Christmas play. So we did the Christmas play over at Grave Hill Baptist Church with the story in 2018. But the funny thing was, after all these years, last October, I looked for this Christmas story for 2 weeks. Everything in the house, I was going through every drawer, every shelf, every book. My wife kept asking me, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "Never mind. You don't know where it's at." So I looked for 2 weeks, and finally I couldn't find it, and I told her, I said, I'm looking for my Christmas story. She said, hand me my laptop. She hit a button and printed it.
You'd have been better off to ask earlier. Huh?
Yeah, to begin with.
So someone was just looking at your property up there to film, and you just drummed up a conversation and ended up with this.
Yeah, I told her about the Christmas story, and she told me, I guess she's my age, but I'm 60 now. I'm getting up there, but she's been in Los Angeles all of her life, in the California area, and been in performing and doing different things. But she said that she's tried for 30 years to get where we are now and has never gotten off the ground. And this story, she's a part of it too. There's 3 of us involved, and she said she tried for 30 years, and somehow this story has got her there.
It's captivated a lot of people's.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. That could turn into something really big.
Yeah, and I've probably got 12 more stories, I guess, that I've written about the mountains and some of the old timers I grew up around, and the people that made a difference in my life. And I've got a lot more to write. I've just been too busy with my electrical work and everything else going on to really sit down and concentrate.
It's ironic. Here last month, George Bove from the Shriners was here, and I did not realize he is the author of the book The Little T, the University of Tennessee. There's a children's. He wrote that, kind of the same thing. He wrote that just as a story, personal story, and ended up, I don't know how he got permission from Tennessee to use Little T, and then it just exploded, took off. It's in Walmarts and everything else, and I think he's done the same thing. He's continued it on and done it. So it's just, I guess there's a hunger out there for some faith-based, wholesome yet fun entertainment for our kids and our families out there that people are craving, because that's the same thing. It does the same thing. It teaches little lessons, as it goes. That's great. You also write music.
Yeah, I can't sing a lick. I can't play anything, but I like to write
lyrics.
I've written mostly gospel. Probably 80% of what I've written is gospel. I think I wrote my first gospel song probably in 1997. So that was what I started out. And probably every 5 years I'd write one, but the last year since we got started on this book, I've written a lot more. I think I'm up to about 55 songs and poems.
When you write a song, do you hear the melody in your head even though you can't play it, or do you just write the song or the lyric and then you have somebody helps you with all that?
I have somebody else do it. I just write what I feel. Sometimes I can listen to somebody else's music and get a song from it.
Inspired.
What was the Oak Ridge boy that passed away recently? Bonzel?
Yes, Joe Bonzel.
Yeah, I was listening to one of his songs. I wrote a song called Homesick for Heaven, after listening to one of his songs. I believe it was off maybe the album Picking on the Porch or something was the name of it, but it was just him singing, and that inspired me to write Homesick for Heaven. But most of the things are just what I feel, but sometimes, riding here today, I got the thought for a song, and I have to put it in my phone.
Do it before you forget it?
Yeah, so I don't forget it. Sometimes I'll get up in the middle of the night and have to write something down, and next day my wife will ask me what I got up for or what I wrote down, because if I don't write it down, I lose it.
So let's play one of these. Which one would you want me to play first? Let's see. I've got
Simpler Ways.
I believe I do. Let me pull it up here. I got Simpler Ways. Why don't we tell me a little bit about what we're going to listen to? What's it about?
Well, I actually just wrote this about 10 days ago. We'd built an outdoor kitchen at home, and I was sitting outside, had a fire built and in the fireplace, and looking at the leaves and I guess thinking of our childhood days and the color of the leaves and all of that stuff, and that's kind of where this came from.
Let's take a listen to it, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about it. Here you go.
On this beautiful Tennessee.
Hang on, we're having, says it's here, but doesn't want to play it. Let me try one more time, see if I can get it to play. Well, hang on here, folks. Live radio, there's nothing like it. Let me take a break, see if I can figure out what's going on here.
Tuesday, November 5th, join WYSH Radio live at Hoskins Drug Store for the OEB Sports Talk and election returns. WYSH will be at Hoskins from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. with the OEB Sports Talk, and as they come in, we'll report our local election returns to you. Come down and join us. There'll be refreshments and a lot of fun at Hoskins Drug Store, Tuesday, November 5th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hoskins Drug Store, downtown Clinton.
All right, let's see if we can get this to play again. It may be the size of the file, I'm not sure, but we'll try.
On this beautiful Tennessee day, while autumn colors cover the grass, I stare at the beauty and drift away. Can't help but think about the past. In my rocker, staring at this mountain, my mind returns to childhood days. Nothing but family and friends around me. Didn't have much but simpler ways. Simpler ways, precious days when time moved like a gentle stream. Front porch nights, firefly lights, everything was just like a dream. No fancy things, but rich in friends. Lord, I'd go back there again to those simpler ways. To those simpler ways. I close my eyes and think of this place. And before the world comes back to view, I see the creek where we play chase. And I walk the porch and look for you. Oh, how I long for those days again, when time moves slow and love remains. Just one more day to be with my friends. Didn't have much but simpler ways. Simpler ways, precious days when time moved like a gentle stream. Front porch nights, firefly lights, everything was just like a dream. No fancy things, but rich in friends. Lord, I'd go back there again to those simpler ways. To those simpler ways. To those simpler ways. Some folks chase fortune and fame, racing through life's faster lanes. But I trade all I own today just to go back to yesterday, when mama's cooking filled the air and daddy's Bible led our prayers. These mountains hold the truth I've known. Some riches can't be bought with gold. Simpler ways, precious days when time moved like a gentle stream. Front porch nights, firefly lights, everything was just like a dream. No fancy things, but rich in friends. Lord, I'd go back there again to those simpler ways. To those simpler ways. Lord, I'd go back there again.
person in our audience would disagree with that. A lot of folks like to go back to a simpler time, a simpler day, and simpler ways. And we were talking off the air. We'll talk about it again. But so, how do you go from wiring up electricity, running a railroad, to writing songs that we're playing on the radio? First of all, how did you meet the person that was singing right there on that?
Well, Tony Stravos, I met him through a friend of mine, Tony Caudill, who runs the Tennessee Film Community, and Tony is also a part of the Troy is a part of the Tennessee Film Community, Troy Stravos.
Mm-hmm.
So I met him through that, and I had sent the first song to Tony, Homesick for Heaven, or the first song that Troy did, and Tony shared it with Troy. I'm having trouble with names this morning, but
that's all right.
But
we're following.
But Troy did that one, so I met a lot of these contacts through the Tennessee Film Community, and I've had a couple of people film at our property over in New River, some faith-based films, and I think got a couple of more probably coming pretty soon to film. So it's been fun having them there and seeing. That's kind of what revitalized my Christmas story. I shared it with some people, and they read it and they said, "Oh, that's a nice story," but it wasn't, I guess. Well, I'm sure it wasn't their type of story or what they were doing, and so it's all about the right people and the right time. And
did you put your property out? Like, I know, like one of the Knoxville production companies used my house here a couple of years ago. They came in and said, "Hey, we'd like to film a series here at your house," and then said, "We'll give you X amount of dollars to use your house for a day." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine by me. I'm not going to be here. I'll be at work anyway." How did you get New River on the map enough to be discovered by folks to want to come? And
well, I didn't put anything out there. Once again, Tony Caudill from the Tennessee Film Community put on Facebook, and I'm not even on Facebook, so but somebody saw it. He was looking for a cabin to film a movie in, and so somehow through this person, another person, he ended up with my number, and so he come over and looked at the cabin, and Chip Rossetti came down, and from Kentucky, a filmmaker, and he looked at the cabin, and so they decided to film there, and so that was kind of a fluke, like everything else that I've done. It's just a fluke.
Stumble into it, but sounds like you're making the most out of it.
Yeah, it's been a different experience, something I never thought I'd ever see.
I was just getting ready to ask you about that. Did you ever have an idea in your head you'd write for a living, or make a movie, or sing, or?
No. The only thing I told my wife, I said, I've always wanted to write a story. In the back of my mind, I've always wanted to write a story just about myself and the way we grew up and stuff, but
pass it down to your family and your kids and grandkids.
But I've never thought about or envisioned any of this stuff that's going on now.
And still, it's exciting stuff.
It is. It keeps you up late at night and walk the floor. And
so if there are people out there listening to us and they'd like to buy an evergreen Christmas tree, how would they do that?
Well, Black Friday, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart, you can buy it online. It'll be for sale online before then, probably around the 17th or 18th of November. The 29th is Black Friday. It's my understanding that it's going to be in stores in Barnes & Noble and Walmart Black Friday, but I've not confirmed that 100%. I believe everything Amazon will be, you can order it online or the ebook,
Yeah.
or the book from Amazon. But Black Friday is the target date.
And evergreenchristmastree.com is a website?
Yes.
Will it be there too?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think the Evergreen Christmas Tree will link you to the 16 platforms.
That works. That's great. You got another song here. Tell us about this other song that you've got. Tell us about that just a little bit.
Standing on the Bank, is that the...
Let me see. No, it looks like Life's Like Fishing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Life's Like Fishing. Yeah. I wrote that one. When I wrote that song, I could see the actual fishing hole and the bank, and I can take you to the very spot that I wrote that song about. And in my mind, as I was writing the song, that fishing hole that we grew up fishing in and swimming in, and I was right there as I wrote that song. So
let's take a listen to it here this morning. And is this Tony doing this one too?
Pardon?
Who is this same person that's singing?
Yeah, Tony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Standing on the bank, cane pole in hand, barefoot and hungry, no fish in the pan. What'll be my supper? Will I eat today? Fish ain't biting, I'll try another way. River's running slow, patient as can be. Life's like fishing, you just wait and see. But don't you give up, no, don't give up hope. 'Cause when the Lord sees fit, there's a tug on your pole. I'll cross in the shallow and legs roll high. Headed for home as I stop inside. What's that noise in the weeds I hear? It's a big catfish coming oh so near. River's running slow, patient as can be. Life's like fishing, you just wait and see. But don't you give up, no, don't give up hope. 'Cause when the Lord sees fit, there's a tug on your pole. Stuck in the sand. Thankful for his blessings, for my daily bread. Maybe I should try fishing for men instead. The river's running slow, patient as can be. Life's like fishing, you just wait and see. But don't you give up, no, don't give up hope. 'Cause when the Lord sees fit, there's a tug on your pole. As can be, life's like fishing, you just wait and see. But don't you give up, no, don't give up hope. 'Cause when the Lord sees fit, there's a tug on your pole. When the Lord sees fit, there's a tug on your pole. When the Lord sees fit, there's a tug on your pole.
There you go, folks. Written by Jimmy Burge, and that's Troy. Is it Stavros? Stravos. That's fantastic. So we can look for the book coming out this month, a little later this month.
Yeah, almost here.
You ain't moving to California anytime soon, are you?
No.
We're going to keep
I
you.
like my mountains too much.
All right. That's fantastic. I'm glad you came in. Anything else you want folks to know about?
No. My oldest daughter, April, she's writing a little bit, and I've got two small grandkids. We're hoping to teach them the mountain ways, and my youngest daughter, Sarah, she does a lot of crafts and things, and so I'm trying to get her involved in the merchandise side of things, but I enjoy writing down what I feel, and we're looking forward to see where where this goes. And
you're hoping to preserve some of the heritage and some of the things that folks like we all had growing up that my kids don't have right now growing up.
Yeah, and the last 10 years, a lot of it's been lost, and I wish I had started this journey before I did. I've let a lot of good stories and things fall by the wayside that I should have written down years before. And I've still got a lot more to write. If the Lord lets me live, I'll write more. I've got 100 on my mind, but I just don't have time to sit down and write or concentrate. But I really appreciate the opportunity to come on the air today. And
no, I've been trying to figure it out for 3 weeks since Tim first sent it to me, trying to get you up here. No, it's fantastic what you're doing. I think it's exciting. It's good. It's great if you can share, what we all grew up with.
Yeah.
I like to try to paint a picture to the people that's listening that don't know that much about New River.
Yeah.
And this is an old coal mining community that, just really went when all the coal mining went away. It was just really a devastated area. But when you go over there, and luckily we've got broadband coming in over there, but still yet you've got this one community store, okay? Still got a coal stove, potbelly stove, wood floor, the bologna sandwiches and all that. And this is the whole communication center right there, because there'll be people that stop in and they'll say, if so-and-so stops in, I've gone over here on somebody's house.
I've got your store.
and there's a yellow phone, I think, if I remember correctly, that hangs on the wall. I don't know if it's rotary or if it's a touch tone, but it's got about a 40-foot cord.
It's got to be touch tone now, the rotaries. I know, because I had a rotary and we had to replace it.
But I'm telling you, it's got about a 40-foot cord, and that's where everybody comes to use the phone. Because, and Jimmy, I tell you, AT&T does their best to try to keep, the landlines up and going. But until just really recently, they didn't have any source of communication to the outside world on that phone. And just coming and telling the stories.
Sure.
But we're talking about, in the things that I picture in my mind, is you've seen the Dolly Parton story, that Christmas show that comes out. Well, this is the same type of area.
Yeah.
It was all based around coal mining. And, I serviced the coal mining industry over there. My father did, and I did, my son.
Yeah.
And it's just a unique set of people. That's where the word GOM come from.
So, really?
Yeah, and Pastor Wayne. Yeah, Pastor Wayne really uses that word a lot. He's listening, I'm sure. But the blessings, I was talking about being blessed. And the older you get, you realize all the blessings you've received.
Yeah, you don't see them a lot.
It's just like and I'm on the Northeast Railroad Authority, and how many struggles and how many attempts and the effort we've tried to keep that thing going, keep that railroad alive. And you think, well, that's a missed opportunity, but it's not, because had it been for that the train and all that, we wouldn't have this book.
Yeah, sure.
And we wouldn't be bringing, all of his things is in Jimmy's mind
back out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything has a reason. Everything comes around, goes around. Speaking of the Coal Miners Museum, I was talking to Andrew. We just put something on. You guys are kicking up second phase of your fundraiser for the path, right? Doing bricks.
Yeah.
So if folks are out there, you want to talk a little bit about that? You got any information on it? I think right now there's, 300? There's a $300, $200, and a $100 brick.
That's correct. And we're doing it in phases, and we're getting ready to launch the second phase of the brick. So, that really helps us, because we don't get any funding other than what we raise. And then we've been very fortunate in getting grants. And we just received a grant to redo the windows and stuff. So we're going to have to set back, the opening of the second floor a little bit until we get all the windows put in.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have that, maybe late spring, early summer, we'll get that done.
We're on there advertising for people if they would like to purchase a brick to help preserve that history as well.
You wouldn't believe how many people come in and just look at the brick, and we're going back, we're talking about the history, with the coal mining histories from New River and Brownsville, been on here and talked about so many times. That's part of the reason why Oak Ridge was chosen for, the Manhattan Project, because of the source of energy
Yeah.
And, I always say that Anderson County is the beacon, especially in energy, because you've got, TVA, you've got the nuclear energy, you got the coal, and you got the wind. We got it all right here.
Yeah, it's amazing. Jimmy, congratulations. I'm excited for you. Anxious to see what it does. What do you just in your wildest dreams, did you think you'd be doing something like this?
Never a clue.
You just stumbled on it and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fell out of nowhere. It's like I said, it's been a lot of hard work. God blesses us all in different ways, and He has blessed me through my writing. That's the one. That's an advantage that I have. A lot of people have. I'm not the only one that has that advantage, but that's how I write most of my stuff. Is when God speaks to my heart or blesses me, when I can feel His presence, He just floods me with ideas and thoughts and.
Try to get them down as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Gonna have to get you one of those little things you take around and record.
I've got one, but I try to record it to other people, not myself.
Well, I hope you'll come back after it comes out, talk a little bit about it, and different things that happen to you along the way, because you're probably in for a pretty exciting ride here over the next little bit.
Yeah, I'd be honored to come back. It's all happening. It's happening fast. So.
It is happening fast. I know back when they tried to do our TV show for the station back in 2014 or 15, and we signed with a company out there called Super Delicious. And I know all about the emails and ideas, and can you add this, and can we do that, and can we move that? Yeah. But it really is exciting, especially for me, for someone who'd never experienced anything like that. I'm sure for you, it's a whole new world, but it's very exciting.
It is, yeah. I can't wait to see where the book goes.
That's interesting. All right, guys. Anything else, Tim? Anything else going on politics-wise or up there in your side of the county?
No, we're going to have a prayer tonight. At
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock. And it's a nationwide thing. It's about praying for the election, actually.
Yes. Everybody stop at 6 o'clock. And they're asking folks to do it no matter what time zone, 6 o'clock exactly. In your time zone.
Yeah.
Stop and say a prayer for the country, say a prayer for the election, say a prayer for the nation. I won't drag you into talking about any politics of the election or anything else right now. We've had a nice Ask Your Neighbor. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
And let me tell you one thing that's on my mind.
Okay, good.
Of course, one of the church sermons I had a couple of weeks ago when it's talking about the Book of Life. And as you get older, you start really realizing your blessings that you've had.
Sure.
And, as we sit here, if nothing ever happens, if we die today, we've been so blessed.
Sure.
You don't realize it. But he was talking about the Book of Life. And I realized that my children, when their names are in there, we were blessed.
Absolutely. They are. They're there, and that is a blessing for all of us. Absolutely. All right, guys. Congratulations again, Jimmy.
Thank you,
Tim. I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you. Because me and you were trying to hook up. Tim was like, I'll just bring him up there. That'd be easier. Just set it up. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm glad he did. He's been a big help to me.
Well, he's been a big help to a lot of people. And again, anytime you come back, anytime, I'd love to have you back. I'd love to kind of just follow you on this journey, see how it goes. I like it. I think it's fantastic when good people, whether you stumble into it, we don't really stumble into anything. The Lord ordains what we're doing. We might feel like we stumble into it, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to see, and I hope it skyrockets and goes through the roof for you, brother.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Jimmy. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Call it a day. Tomorrow, Dr. Ayers will be here. It's going to be election day, and Dr. Ayers all at the same time there. No telling what that conversation is going to sound like.
Looking forward to it.
We will have it here for you. Yeah. And remember, tomorrow, and if you guys are out, stop by, but we're going to go down. We're going to host our Sports Talk Live at 6 o'clock at Hoskins, and then we're going to stay down there till about 9. And to kind of do a pseudo sports talk community stop by, say hello, election return. Till about 9 o'clock, and then we're having a family thing at the house. Got everybody coming over to watch the election. I'm hoping that by up in the evening, we've got at least a good idea who our next president's going to be. I don't know, but I believe that we will. So, but if you're out and about, stop by Hoskins, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock tomorrow night, and just say howdy and chat with us a little bit.
No, it's going to be a very important election.
No, it's going to be extremely important.
And you just hear, the candidates talk about how important it is, but it really is.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things financially that affects everybody. And like, where Trump's talking about cutting out the tax on Social Security.
Just the tax on Social Security.
Because I'm looking at that myself, and I'm thinking, man, this was in my plan, but I didn't realize how much they're going to take back. Okay, and then overtime.
Yeah.
He's going to quit taxing overtime, because when people work, and most everybody works overtime, and then they're giving back more than half.
Sure.
Back to the government because of the fruits of their labor.
Sure.
And then you got the waiters and the waitresses where they're not taxing tips. Think about how many people that affect across the United States. Just those three things. You got your seniors, that's on a fixed income, and they're hoping to see that 3% increase, but when the cost of living has expanded by 13%, that 3% don't go far. You're still 10% behind.
Sure. And so that's life-changing for a lot of people.
It is. So that's why it's very important.
Especially people, when you get out into the hospitality realm, the great majority of their money is tips.
Yeah.
That's, for those folks, that would be fantastic.
And I think sometimes, Congress and people that make those decisions, they all have such a good living.
Oh, yeah. Okay?
They don't understand, thinking about, I'm going to have to eat off the dollar menu all week long, or I'm going to have to, make me a bologna sandwich and one piece of bologna. And, you think that way, but there's so many people in the United States, and you got husband and wife, mother and dad both working, and they're working overtime, and who's taking care of the kids, and that, that affects them going forward. And, that's why I think some of the things that Jimmy writes, Simpler Times, it really hits home.
Absolutely. I think sometimes we get our folks, they get caught up, whatever they get caught up in, but in this case, we're talking politics, and they're up there, and they do make a good living to do what they do. It's not the easiest job, but I think sometimes if you're not back home enough, it's easy to forget, the people that you're up there to try and help. And hopefully we'll get back to that. We'll see. I don't know. We can all cross our fingers and pray. That's about the extent that we can do, is pray, and we're going to do that tonight at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Everybody remember to do that, and set an alarm, do whatever you got to do. But 6 o'clock tonight, say a prayer for our country, say a prayer for the election. And like I said, again, tomorrow night, if you're out and about between 6 and 9, stop by Hoskins, me and Jasper and Walt. And I just found out I just found out today, but James David found out last night. He's got to practice basketball tomorrow. Chris is committed, buddy.
Yes,
he's practicing basketball, I think, at 6 o'clock tomorrow at Clinton High School, 8 o'clock. But we'll be down there. But he'll be down there for the sports talk show. So if you guys want to come by and say hi to all of us, we'll all be there. I think the whole Hee-Haw gang's going to be there for a little while, so Hoskins better be stocked up. All right, guys, have a great day. We appreciate you coming in, y'all. Appreciate you listening. This is Ask Your Neighbor on WYSH.
No, you're wrong.
Thank you.
Hardware, folks. It's time to get started on those projects you've been planning, and Ace Hardware in Clinton has what you need to get started. Whether you need tools, paint, lawn and garden equipment, or just about anything else you're needing for your home, the friendly pros at Ace Hardware are here for you. Ace Hardware is a proud supporter of the Clinton Dragons. Ace Hardware, 929 North Charles G. Sievers Boulevard in Clinton, 865-457-1478.
Ace is a place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's football time in Tennessee, and Hammer's Dry Goods is stocked up with game day clothing for the entire family. We're also receiving new shipments of clothing every day for hiking, fishing, and outdoor fun. Ladies and girls' boutique fashions are 25% off Hammer's regularly low marked prices. Check out our huge inventory of ladies' boutique-style shoes and boots at discount prices. Come and see our complete fall line of ladies' fashion goods and accessories from Simply Southern. Select from a special purchase of comfort color sweatshirts, long sleeve tees, all at Hammer's Wranglers low prices, and choose from our largest inventory of Wrangler ATG hiking and work pants. We also have stacks upon stacks of famous brand men's boots for $99. Visit Hammer's Facebook and Instagram for daily deals and new items. Come and see us at our new location in the big brick building right across from Anderson County High School. Or visit our other locations in Sevierville, Wartburg, Halls, and Newcastle. If you miss a day, you miss a bargain at Hammers.
Stock number T1740, T1774, T1624, T1738 with Pro Credit after full factory rebate and Ray Barn Ford discount.
As the leaves fall and the stadium lights turn on, it's time to drive into the season with a vehicle built for change. Hi, I'm Ray Varner at Ray Varner Ford in Clinton. Whether it's tailgating, weekend road trips, or tackling the everyday grind, our lineup is ready to power through it all. Take charge in this 2024 Ford F-150 4x4 STX Super Crew, $46,994. Get out there and explore in this 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Ben 4x4 with tow package, $32,950 with 3.9% financing available. At Ray Varner Ford, you'll find performance, experience, and change you're looking for in this 2024 Ford Expedition XLT, available for $59,978 or choose 2.9% financing up to 72 months. Built for the game and built for life. The 24 F-250 4x4 Crew Cab STX, $57,888. Need car service? Visit our Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center today for all your car maintenance needs. Local you trust, a change you can afford. Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, I-75 exit 122, or shop us online at rayvarnerford.com.
All right, guys, enjoy your day. Thanks so much for being with us, hanging out with us. Appreciate Jimmy Burge and Tim Isbell coming up. Tim initiated that because me and Jimmy were trying to get together, and I'm running busy. And Tim just said, I'll just bring him up there. What's a day? And I said, all right, come on. So we were able to get that put together. It's exciting stuff. EvergreenChristmasTree.com. If you guys want to look into it and watch for that book to be released. You have a great day. Once again, 6 o'clock tonight. We'll have Trading Time Prime Time on here at 6 o'clock tonight. Actually, we'll be doing news at 6 o'clock tonight. But remember, stop, say a prayer, 6 o'clock tonight for our country, for our election. Everybody's going to try and do that at 6. Tomorrow night, stop by and see us. We're going to do Sports Talk Live at Hoskins Drugstore, kind of an extended sports talk, community election coverage kind of thing. We're just going to be there at Hoskins till 9 o'clock. And we hope that you'll come by.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or